More than 1 in 2 men over 40 faces some degree of erectile dysfunction. By the time they reach 60, that number climbs even higher. Yet, instead of talking about it openly, most men suffer in silence, blaming themselves or seeking quick fixes that only mask the symptoms. But what if she told him that a simple natural nutrient taken at the precise time of day could not only bring back his vitality but also restore the quality of his sleep and much of the energy he thought he had lost forever? This isn't about miracle pills or empty promises. It's about a deeper understanding of his own body. Deep by day of how his hormones, his circulation, his nerves, and his sleep are all intrinsically connected, and how a specific vitamin taken at night can play a surprisingly powerful role in restoring that balance. Think of it this way: it's like tending to the soil instead of just watering the plant. When the soil is rich and well nourished, everything else grows stronger. This is where the topic gets really interesting. Men over 60 often face a triple challenge. First, testosterone naturally declines, which can affect desire and energy. Second, the ability to achieve deep, restorative sleep is reduced, making nighttime repair more difficult. Third, circulation. The very foundation of potency becomes less efficient with age, especially if conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or an enlarged prostate are present. This creates a vicious cycle. Poor sleep weakens hormonal balance, weak hormones affect sexual function, and reduced sexual function can diminish confidence, which in turn leads to more stress and even worse sleep. The good news, however, is that this cycle can be broken. Modern research has shown that certain nutrients, when taken at night, can work in harmony with the body's natural rhythm, improving sleep quality, restoring hormonal balance, and strengthening the vascular system that supports sexual function. There is one particular nutrient we will focus on today, which has been studied for its role in improving both potency and sleep quality in men over 60. In this space, we will analyze the science together, exploring what this vitamin is, how it works, why the timing of taking it is crucial, and what the best research shows us. Along the way, we will debunk common myths, talk about real-life cases, and offer you clear, practical steps you can start taking this very night. He deserves clarity, not fear. He deserves solutions that make sense. And most importantly, he deserves to know that these challenges are not a sign of failure, but a part of the aging process that can be managed with knowledge and care. Dr. Carter begins the conversation with a fundamental concept: the connection between sleep and testosterone. Many men are surprised to learn that testosterone is not just a hormone linked to masculinity or sexual performance. It is also deeply tied to the way the body restores itself at night. He should think of it as his body's nighttime repair crew. Just as road workers need quiet hours to rebuild a highway, his body needs deep, uninterrupted sleep to restore testosterone levels. Here's what the research shows. A landmark study from the University of Chicago revealed that even 1 week of restricted sleep, sleeping only 5 hours per night, reduced testosterone levels in young men by nearly 15%. To put that in perspective, that's equivalent to aging 10 to 15 years in just 7 days, simply from poor sleep. Now, imagine how fragile this balance becomes when a man is 60 and already facing a natural decline in testosterone production. Another crucial detail is that testosterone is released in a pulsatile manner during the night, with the highest peak occurring in the first hours of deep sleep. If he struggles with insomnia, wakes up frequently to urinate, or suffers from restless leg syndrome, he could be interrupting the period when his testosterone has its best chance to recover. This is why so many men notice that when they sleep poorly, their energy, desire, and potency decline almost immediately. Think of it like trying to charge a phone in a faulty outlet. If the power cuts out every hour, the battery never fully recharges. In the same way, when his deep sleep is interrupted, his testosterone battery remains half empty, no matter how healthy his diet or exercise habits are. This is also where stress comes into play. Cortisol, the stress hormone, increases when sleep is disrupted. Elevated cortisol directly suppresses testosterone production in the testicles. This means that poor sleep not only reduces the body's ability to produce testosterone, but also elevates a hormone that actively blocks it. It's a double blow against his vitality. So, what can be done? The first step is to understand that addressing sleep is not optional if he wants to maintain vitality after 60. His body's sexual function depends on his sleep cycle just as much as it does on blood flow. And here's the key. When we introduce certain vitamins or minerals at night, we aren't just helping him fall asleep faster, we are protecting his hormonal rhythm. By supporting sleep quality, we allow the body to restore testosterone naturally, which in turn supports sexual health and overall vigor. If this connection makes sense to you, Dr. Carter invites you to give this video a like. It helps her know that this type of detailed information is valuable to you. And if sleep has been a challenge in your life, comment below and let's open a conversation. You are not alone in this struggle, and there are real, science-backed solutions. When most people think of melatonin, they imagine it as a simple sleep aid, a small pill that helps you drift off. But melatonin is not just a sedative, it's a hormone naturally produced by your pineal gland in response to darkness. And for men over 60, melatonin plays a much bigger role than just helping you fall asleep. It influences sexual health, nitric oxide signaling, and even prostate function. Here's what the research shows. Studies published in medical journals have demonstrated that melatonin interacts with the testicles, helping to regulate testosterone production and protecting the cells from oxidative stress. Another study from the National Institutes of Health highlighted that melatonin improves the function of endothelial cells, the inner lining of the blood vessels. Why is this important? Because a healthy endothelium is what allows nitric oxide to be released. Nitric oxide is the body's natural chemical messenger for erections. Without it, potency is not possible. Think of nitric oxide as the green light at a traffic signal, telling the blood to flow into the penis. If that light never turns green, traffic comes to a standstill. Melatonin helps keep that traffic signal working by protecting the lining of the blood vessels. This means that taking melatonin at night isn't just for deeper sleep. It's also about keeping the very foundation of potency intact. Now, let's talk about the prostate. Emerging research suggests that melatonin may have protective effects on prostate tissue, potentially reducing inflammation and improving urinary symptoms in men with BP. While the evidence is still developing, this points to an added benefit of ensuring his melatonin levels are not chronically low. And here's the reality. Melatonin production naturally declines with age. By the time a man reaches 60, his levels may be only half of what they were at 20. He might be wondering if every man should start taking melatonin. Supplements. The answer is more complex. For some men, a low dose, often just 1 to 3 milligrams taken 30 to 60 minutes before bed, can be beneficial. Higher doses are not always better and can sometimes cause grogginess or disrupt sleep architecture. The goal is to support his body's rhythm, not overwhelm it. Here's a practical tip. Think of melatonin as a gentle reminder to his body. Lower the lights at night, avoid screens an hour before bed, and if his doctor agrees, consider a small dose of melatonin as part of his nightly ritual. By doing this, he is signaling to his body that it's safe to enter deep rest, and that deep rest is the ground where testosterone renewal, vascular repair, and sexual vitality grow. If this resonates with you, leave a comment below. Many men feel ashamed to talk about sleep supplements, but the truth is, melatonin isn't a crutch. It's a natural hormone that declines with age, and sometimes giving it a gentle boost can restore both his nights and his potency. When we think of vitamin D, most people picture sunshine and bone health. It's often called the sunshine vitamin because the body produces it when the skin is exposed to ultraviolet light. But vitamin D is much more than that. For men over 60, it acts more like a hormone than a simple vitamin. It influences testosterone levels, vascular health, immune balance, and even mood stability. These are all factors that shape both potency and overall vigor. Here's what the research shows. A study published in Hormone and Metabolic Research found that men with adequate vitamin D levels had significantly higher testosterone compared to men who were deficient. Another review in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism emphasized that vitamin D deficiency is linked not only to low testosterone, but also to higher rates of erectile dysfunction, because vitamin D supports endothelial function. Once again, that's the inner lining of the blood vessels, which is essential for the release of nitric oxide. Without healthy endothelial cells, blood flow is compromised and potency suffers. Now here's where the timing of taking it comes into play. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, which means it's best absorbed with meals that contain some healthy fat. Although most doctors recommend dosing in the morning or midday to mimic sun exposure, some emerging evidence suggests that in men who struggle with sleep, nighttime supplementation may indirectly support melatonin rhythms. This is because vitamin D helps regulate the circadian system, the body's internal clock that governs both sleep and hormone release. Think of it as resetting his body's watch so that everything, from testosterone production to vascular repairs, happens at the right time. Another key area is mood. Men with low vitamin D levels often report fatigue, irritability, or low mood. Depression and low testosterone frequently overlap, and both can rob a man of his sexual vitality. By restoring vitamin D, he may not only improve testosterone, but often mood and energy improve as well. This creates a positive cycle: better sleep, better mood, greater potency. Let her use a simple analogy. Imagine trying to plant a garden in dry, depleted soil. It doesn't matter how good the seeds are, they won't thrive. Vitamin D acts like the rainwater, nourishing the soil so that everything, hormones, circulation, energy, can take root. When men restore their vitamin D levels, many notice their body feels younger again, not because age is reversed, but because the body finally has the basic resources to function as it should. Practical tip. If he is over 60, he should ask his doctor to check his vitamin D levels with a simple blood test called a 25-hydroxyvitamin D. Many men are surprised to find they are deficient, even if they spend some time outdoors. If supplementation is needed, he should discuss the right dose for his body. Some men do better with smaller daily doses, while others benefit from higher weekly doses. If his doctor agrees, taking it at night with dinner, especially if it's his main meal containing healthy fats like olive oil, salmon, or avocado, can support both absorption and his nightly rhythm. Remember, this is not about chasing perfection, but about giving his body one of the most fundamental tools it needs to keep his testosterone, sleep, and potency aligned. If Dr. Carter had to pick one mineral that deserves more attention in men's health, especially after 60, it would be magnesium. Often called the relaxation mineral, magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, yet nearly half of older adults are deficient. Why is it important for potency, vigor, and deep sleep? Because magnesium directly influences nerve function, muscle relaxation, stress hormone control, and even the dilation of the blood vessels that make erections possible. Here's what the research shows. A study published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that magnesium supplementation was linked to better sleep quality, particularly in older adults with insomnia. Another paper in Biological Trace Element Research revealed that men with higher magnesium levels also had higher testosterone levels compared to those who were deficient. And when it comes to erections, magnesium supports nitric oxide synthesis, the same pathway that allows blood to flow freely into the penis. Without enough magnesium, blood vessels remain tense and smooth muscle relaxation, a key part of achieving an erection, is impaired. Think of magnesium as the oil that keeps the gears of a machine moving smoothly. Without oil, the gears grind, squeak, and eventually seize up. In the body, that translates to tense muscles, restless nights, and poor blood vessel relaxation. With adequate magnesium, the system flows freely, sleep becomes deeper, stress hormones lower, and erections become easier to achieve. Another overlooked role of magnesium is its effect on cortisol, the stress hormone. Chronically elevated cortisol disrupts both sleep and testosterone production. Magnesium helps regulate the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis, the body's stress response system. By calming this axis at night, magnesium allows his body to slide into deep, restorative sleep, while also creating a more favorable hormonal environment for testosterone. How can he get more magnesium? Dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains are excellent sources. But here's the challenge. As we age, magnesium absorption in the gut decreases, and common medications like diuretics or acid blockers can increase losses. That's why supplementation is sometimes necessary. Among the many forms of magnesium, magnesium glycinate and magnesium citrate are often best tolerated at night, are well absorbed, and tend to promote relaxation without causing digestive upset. Here's a practical tip. Consider taking magnesium about an hour before bed, ideally with a light snack or a warm herbal tea. This signals to his body that it's time to wind down. Many men report that they not only fall asleep faster, but also experience fewer nighttime awakenings. Over time, this deep, consistent sleep allows testosterone levels to stabilize and vascular function to improve, both critical for potency and vigor. So far, we've been talking about hormones and sleep, but there's another crucial piece of the puzzle: circulation. At its core, potency is a vascular event. Erections happen when blood vessels open up and allow blood to rush into the penile tissue where it gets trapped and held firm. Without healthy circulation, even normal testosterone levels can't guarantee strong erections. This is why men with diabetes, high blood pressure, or atherosclerosis often struggle with erectile dysfunction, even if their hormone levels are within range. Here's what the research shows. The molecule that makes erections possible is nitric oxide, produced by the lining of the blood vessels. Nitric oxide signals the smooth muscle in the penile arteries to relax, allowing blood to flow in. A study in the American Journal of Cardiology emphasized that erectile dysfunction is often one of the earliest warning signs of vascular disease, sometimes appearing years before heart problems. In other words, his erection is like a window into his vascular health. Now, how do sleep and vitamins come into play? During deep sleep, the body repairs endothelial cells, those very blood vessel linings that produce nitric oxide. Nutrients like melatonin, vitamin D, and magnesium support this process. Melatonin protects these cells from oxidative stress. Vitamin D improves their responsiveness. Magnesium helps the smooth muscle relax so nitric oxide can do its job. Taken together at night, these nutrients work during the exact hours when his body is designed to heal blood vessels and restore vascular tone. Think of it as repairing a dam overnight so that water can flow freely the next morning. If the dam is cracked or clogged, the water stagnates. If the lining of the blood vessels is unhealthy, erections fail. But when the repair work is consistent, blood flows with strength and reliability. There is also another layer here. Nitric oxide production naturally declines with age. This decrease starts in his 40s and accelerates into his 60s. That's why many men notice that erections aren't as firm or reliable as they used to be. But the decline is not irreversible. Studies have shown that lifestyle factors, including sleep quality, exercise, and nutrition, can increase nitric oxide availability. For example, regular aerobic activity improves endothelial function, while magnesium and vitamin D help support the enzymes involved in nitric oxide production. Here's a practical tip. He should combine nighttime nutrient support with daily habits that improve circulation. A brisk walk, deep breathing, and pelvic floor exercises all encourage blood flow. When he adds magnesium, vitamin D, or melatonin at night, he is reinforcing those daytime gains by giving his blood vessels the tools they need to heal while he sleeps. So the big picture here is that potency isn't just about testosterone or desire. It's about whether his vascular system is healthy enough to deliver blood when the body requests it. And the nighttime window of repair, supported by specific nutrients, is one of the most overlooked yet powerful strategies that men over 60 can use to preserve vigor and confidence.